Welcome back to what Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG, and it's located on the south spawn of Kharkov, and it's under the command of FendaBenda. And I think you can see from the barrel that is an 8-inch howitzer. If it was a 155mm gun, it would extend over the front, but it doesn't, so it's an 8-inch. This makes it a M55, and that means it's capable of 1050 alpha if it can penetrate a target. There you go. 52mm it can penetrate. The 8-inch is the equivalent of 203mm. Okay, game started, and well, he's moving into a position, and well, this is one of the areas where you used to be just up against the back of the map if you were up at this edge here, but they've extended it a bit by moving the edge of the map back, taking a different quadrant, so to speak, of the city. It's a little better. I actually like the new map. I think Kharkov is now quite an efficient map, and it can be played with Arty quite easily. Okay, FendaBenda's moving into position, and as this vehicle does have a turret, you can see he's now aiming his turret around, but he's got a wide arc to fire from, so he can adjust. Okay, he's found his first target, a T-30, and it's a difficult shot because he's having to lob the shell over these buildings, and one of the buildings is very, very close to the aim point. Yep, he managed to get it over, but I'm not sure how close it was to the target. Now, he is actually moving the vehicle, and he's moving it back slowly to try and extend his ability to shoot over that building, give him more options on the T-30. We just saw an aircraft crash. Okay, over in the heavy area we've got a massive number of enemy vehicles, but he can't shoot at them because there's a building too close to him, so he's just had to adjust a little, and this is really good. Now, if you're an Arty player, what you should be looking for is multiple targets like this. Where enemy tanks are grouping together, you're going to get multiple damage because you're going to hit more than one at once. And he just did that. He just hit an Object 430 FU and a T10. Now, I know it's not an FU. I know somebody actually did look that up, or rather thought about it for a second and then tried to look it up. Yep, there is no tank called the 430 FU. It's just Wargaming made a tank that was so strong at tier 10 that it really is their way of saying FU to the customer, because it's a really OP medium. And he's just hit two tanks again. This time though, it was a Jaeger that got hit, and the same T10, I think. And of course he's picking up masses of stun as well, because every time he hits them, he's stunning two tanks at once. That T10 is a one-shot now for just about anyone, and if FendaBenda gets a chance, I think he'll put a round in there to take that T10 out. It's another tank out the game. He's got it dialed in perfectly, waiting for the right moment. He doesn't want to adjust the aim anymore. That looks good. Rounds out. Oh, it lands short. It actually hit the pile in front of the T10, not the actual T10 itself. So all he did was suffer a bit of minor splash. And, well, now we've got that T-30 back again. And he's in a nice little defensive position there next to the barricades. But that's not going to protect him from an 8-inch shell, which is going to create merry hell on him. It could wipe him out easily. I think it's very likely to. Rounds out. And that was a kill shot. Now he's gone back to the T10, who is still there, still firing. Now, can he get a shot into it this time? There's an enemy tank behind him. Okay, it's a IS-4, so he aims for both of them. There's a good possibility he might even get a bombardier. No, I'm not sure if that's true, actually, because the IS-4 does have a fair bit of health still. But he's almost loaded. Reload time is quite long, I'm afraid, on the 8-inch. Here he goes, rounds out. Yes, he gets the T10, but he only damages the IS-4 for 398. But it was a good shot all the same. His total is now up to 1.5k. Now the enemy were just in our cap a short moment ago, but they stopped capping, and that might indicate the AMX-30 that was seen in the cap is headed this way. So FendaBenda might need to... Yeah, he's been seen. Yep, needs to get behind cover quickly. Enemy Arty is in the game, so he might be on the receiving end from a shell from a GW Tiger, and that's got an awfully big gun. He's gone very defensive, but he might be unspotted right now. He did knock those walls over, which would tell the enemy where he was, or where he might have been. The AMX-30's gone behind cover now. I'm now wondering if the tank that spotted him wasn't the AMX-30, could have been the T-54. But he has got some teammates who are aware of the situation. There's the T-54. It looks like he... Oh, it's not just him in the cap. In fact, I don't think it's just him in the cap. I think he's actually off to one side of the cap. It could be that Batchat 25 ton. We know the 277's in the north. There's an M46 pattern out in the field. Well, that one did a splash damage on the Object 277. Yes, it was the pattern actually that was with the T-54 back at their cap. By going to this position, he can get angles on the cap now. And yes, he can see that T-54. Again, that building's in the way, so he might need to back up a bit more. He's going to go for the pattern though. He's got a clear shot at that one. It's a difficult shot on the T-54. He's dialed in, rounds out. Direct hit, 348. Changing position. Always wise, especially if the enemy RT is looking. But the enemy RT has been killed, so he doesn't need to worry about that. Okay, he's found a new firing spot. Now the T-54 has taken the hint after getting hit, and he's moved into a position which is basically making him hold down behind that snow. But the pattern hasn't. He's actually just in a dip, which is going to make it a lot easier to hit him. Rounds out straight away. Splashes him for 333s, a one shot. He's still stunned. One more shot from one of our tanks should be enough to put him out the game. Got enough tanks to do the job now. With 3 up on the enemy. FendaBenda can't fire to the north though, because those buildings, those tall ones, are in the way. But I think he's going to move to a position where he can actually help the IS-7. Now this used to be the roundabout. You used to be able to go into the centre of it, and if you remember that Halloween special, the roundabout was where the entrance to hell was located. Now, the TVP T5051 is pinging the north of the map for all he's worth. Don't think you're really being helpful there. I think he's worried that the enemy might actually start capping, but the Leopard's actually come back because he realises his teammates are in danger down the south. Oh, what a hit! And that set a fire off, but an automatic fire extinguisher went off. He definitely got a fire extinguisher to go off there. That means the pattern's actually going to... Well, T-54 is going to be badly damaged. Must have busted his fuel tanks. Oh, it was spotted there. Now, that might mean the Object 277 is coming this way. And since he's so close to these buildings, he might have to set up an ambush to defend against that 277. I think it's pretty surely him. He's getting into cover. And yes, it is the 277. Shotgun time. And he does shotgun him, but it hits the ground next to him. So he's now hugging the building for all he's worth to stop that 277 coming around the corner. And his teammates finish him off, thanks to the Type 61. So his shotgun disabled the 277 briefly, but just enough time for the Type 61 to protect him. Very nicely done. Okay, there's the Leopard. He's been killed. There are only 3 enemy tanks left. An Object 268, an M46 pattern, and the Batchat 25 ton. Now, I think what he's going to do now is head towards the enemy cap area and start capping up there. And then return fire on the enemy down at his cap. Or is he? Well, he's going into this little area here, which makes it very difficult for the enemy to spot him. Now, they haven't seen that Object 268 for a while. They have killed the Batchat 25 ton. And I think everyone's decided to go to the cap. Yep, the IS-7's headed there, the ship barn, the Type 61, everyone's getting in the cap. Oh, no, that's the edge of the map. Yep, you might as well cap at this stage of the game. Okay, well, we've got our Type 61 protector with us. It's very nice of him to finish off that 277, because I'm pretty sure that he would have come around the corner and wiped out FendaBenda with one shot. The armour on the M55 is not particularly strong, but then it wasn't supposed to be. The hull is actually made from the Patton tank, but the superstructure, which is obviously what you go for if you're going to fire at one, is pretty weak. So yeah, a shell would go straight through, no problem whatsoever. And that turret actually contains a number of 8-inch shells, which if you fire through, you're more than likely going to set them off. And there's the Patton. He's been wiped out, so it's just the Object 268 now to kill. They're looking for him, and we've capped out, so it's all over. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the shot, and that's a pity, because it would have been nice to get that 268, but it is a victory. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker for FendaBenda in the M53, M55. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, crew incapacitations or module damage, 15 in that game. And he did a Gore's medal. He did more damage than 10 times the hit points of his vehicle. I know, depending on which replay site you get, it says either 8 or 10. I think Wargaming counts it as 10. And then he also managed to get a Confederate medal as well. He hit more of the enemy than anyone else. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. And his win rate for the game, 5,013. So let's have a look at the team score. Didn't get the highest damage in the game, unfortunately. No, that went to the FB4005, the ship barn. He got 4,438 hit points. The next high scorer was FendaBenda, 3,954. He worked for that one. And the next high scorer after that was, in fact, the Leopard prototype, 3,329. When it came to kills, well, it was the Leopard prototype. He got 3 kills, and then FendaBenda joins a group of other tanks, 5 in all, that managed to get 2 kills apiece. And that includes the Leopard prototype, the TVP, the Martian, and the Object 268. And when it came to base XP, well, he was tops. He got 1,112 base experience points, 1,041 goes to the Leopard prototype, who also managed to pick up a Confederate, and he also, and the Martian managed to get 918 base experience points. The reasons why FendaBenda got that Confederate and the Gores will become clear very shortly. And of course the high base XP. 12 shots fired, 6 direct hits but no penetrations, but 14 splash. For 12 shots he got 14 splashes. That's a lot. He did double tank them. Damage of 3,954 hit points, of which 3,665 were more than 300 meters. Obviously the close shot was the Object 277, which he shot at very close range, shotgun style. He hit 8 of the enemy, killed 2 of them, and that means there was a difference of 6 to get the Confederate, and this is why his XP was so high. 1,561 stun assistance off 12 stuns, and 48 capture points whilst he was in the cap. On a free-to-play account, he earned 37,609 credits from that game, and after ammunition resupply, and the ammo is expensive for the 8-inch howitzer, he actually made 15,169 credits. He received 6 bonds for getting the Confederate and the Gore's medal at tier 10, and he also earned 1,112 base XP, and there was no multipliers, so I'm afraid that's all the experience points he took away. But as he says here, P is for propelled. He's taken Klaus Kellerman's saying to heart. He relocates, he moves his vehicle about to get the best angles on the enemy, and it certainly paid off. Unfortunately, it also put him in a bit of danger because that Object 277 came across him, but the moment he realised he'd been spotted, he did the right thing. He got into cover, waited, set an ambush, and shotgunned the moment the enemy came around the corner. And of course that helped him to survive and generated quite a nice little result out of it. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel. We get great replays like this all the time and we really like you to come back. Thanks for watching this video.